Ah, overhead view. Just like old times. We might notice we're back at the Shadow Moses heliport. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is that, oh my gosh, the chaff grenades, they respawned. Always good to go back as far as you can in a game to see what little goodies have come back. And another reason we're here. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh my god, it's a spooky ghost of a genome soldier. Yeah, so equipping the... You have to equip both. That's what I forgot. You have to equip the Sorrow Doll and the camera, and you can see where ghosts are hidden. There's only one more that I know where is off the top of my head, and it is right here. Yep, you can just barely make out there's a spooky man. Even still, though, I think you got to get pretty close. Like, I don't think I could see it from here. Oh, no, I could see it from here. Okay. All right. So it's a little further away than I remembered, but, even still. At some point, I'd like to do a Shadow Moses Ghost Hunt stream. Because I think it's just a cute little detail. I want to Ghost Hunt in, all three versions of Shadow Moses. A lot of them are carried over between games. Some of them are exclusive. It's just a fun little thing. I like that Shadow Moses is canonically haunted. I guess that's some Metal Gear lore that you don't think about very often. Shadow Moses actually haunted. Hey, let's go in this way. This is how we came in Twin Snakes. As well as, I think I took this path in MGS1 as well, our first time. This is my preferred way to get here. Yep. Look at all those little guys. Little crows, little balls, all kinds of stuff. We remember looking down here and hearing about spraying for rats and the woman in the cell. The intruder, aside from us, who's using stealth and already did 3 people. Oh, all the memories. Where's a ghost falling down one of the trapdoors, like in the armory? That would be fun. Is is our old pal Kenneth Baker still hanging around? You know, they really should have finished all of the rooms. It would have been very funny to see ghosts of more characters like the DARPA chief and Kenneth Baker. And oh my gosh, look, there's no ladder here. It's been destroyed, so it's a one-way trip. Which is kind of funny. Get our stung, and because Twin Snakes is canon, we can use this shortcut. I mean, we did see the ghost of a genome soldier, and there are a couple other... Whoops. Let's take the middle path. There are a couple other characters you can find the ghosts of. I don't believe there's any here, but I can look. I mean, who died here? You know, just... That one guy we lit on fire, and then in Twin Snakes we punched him in the throat. And he fell over, but he's not here. No ghost of the tank either. So, yeah, speaking of Twin Snakes, again, most of these areas are more similar to Twin Snakes than the original. Twin Snakes, I really liked that the destroyed tank was left here the whole game. You can see that's not the case here, and also you can see that weird metal strip between these two. I mean, I don't know what these even are, right? They're just like support beams for a canyon? I don't know. But that's absent. Again, of course, our beloved rat hole. The rat hole's still here. Oh, full-on ration. But not full-on whatever ammo that is. Probably for an assault rifle that I don't use. Because again, why would you use that in Metal Gear? Come on. Press start button. Back at it again at the Shadow Moses Nuclear Warhead Storage Building. Yep. So, with any luck, this gecko is not going to be here. Okay, no, it's not here. Just a cursory glance. Any ghosts here? I don't think anyone died here. I mean, you know, people don't necessarily need to have died here. A lot of the ghosts are just the developers. I don't think they died. Oh my god! That is not a bit. That actually scared me a little. That was one of the hazmat soldiers. That's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. We got a Stinger missile in the back of that truck. Now I kind of want to just go around the whole place and see what I'm going to get spooky jump scared by. Could have been like a barricade for like a door, those two structures. That could have been it, yeah. There are things like that similarly here. Oh yes, and last time I pointed out footprints! Naomi and Vamp's footprints! We saw them on the security feed. And once again, Solid Snake, even though he's technically old, there is no way with this muscle suit he's got on that lets him, you know, take bullets and explosions like a champ. You know, gives him seemingly limitless stamina. No way he could just put his foot on the bottom there and then climb his way over. No. He can't do that, so we gotta go here to this big open field. Again, you can see one of the communication towers. There's another one behind it. They're just so large, it's hard to get both on camera. We gotta cross this treacherous terrain. Ah, yes. And the whole time there was an SVD here. The whole time. We could have used that against Sniper Wolf if we had taken a completely different path. If that door had been open and we had a level... Oh! No level? This is just a door that opens, huh? What is that little symbol there? What is that? I thought it was like... It's low resolution is what it is. At first I thought it was maybe the Fox logo, which would have been anachronistic. And then I thought it kind of looked like Metal Gear Rex. I don't know what that is. That's interesting. Okay. Alright. Well, let's just head down here and absolutely not get ambushed by a boss fight. By the way, point of no return. Can't get back up. This is a familiar scene. Now, we never went in this specific area in either Twin Snakes or MGS1. Hey, that's a familiar railgun! I love that helmet. It's so creepy. Oh, my nanomachines. Or my Fox died. I can't remember what plot point's what. Tokugawa Heavy Industries, you could see it on the... Oh, look, she's also got the same night vision we do. You could see it on her helmet. So it does kind of look like a Gray Fox helmet, and I guess it was made by the same company. By the way, they never fixed that flaw of the railgun, that it slightly electrocutes the user. Hey, look! We jumped out of the way of the shot. Oh, it wasn't quite as cool as Twin Snakes, but it's definitely a Twin Snakes reference. Oh no, look! Actual human combatants. Woo! But check this transition into the gameplay! And look at this cool little fighting pose he's in! Alright, so this is the Crying Wolf fight. It's pretty cool. I have, like, one problem with it, and I would... It's basically just... You didn't need these little ads. You know, you don't actually need the Haven Troopers here. The fight is definitely cool and tense enough as is. They just are unnecessary. You know, it's like you should have had confidence that the fight was cool. It's not quite as cool as the fight with the end, but it's better than any of the Sniper Wolf fights. It's better than the MGS2 sniping sequence. And it's got a exclusive gimmick that none of those, not even the end fight, has, that I'll talk about once I make a little progress here. So yeah, this area is huge, by the way, because it encompasses... Again, here's the trench we fought Sniper Wolf 1 in. We'll take a better look at all these areas after the fight. But there's the communication towers, and there's also the field up ahead to the north where we fought Sniper Wolf the second time. So it's gigantic. It is massive. You can see there's ladders going up and down. It's a very cool area. There's way too many of these ladies around, though. So the gimmick that this fight has is the wind's direction. That's something that's existed in this game the whole time. I mentioned it with, I believe I mentioned it when I showed off the Tanegashima. I know I mentioned it really early on when I was describing, like, the sniping. The wind will affect your bullets, but more importantly here, it's affecting our scent. And you can see that on the radar. We've kind of got like an egg shape. And so... I hear footsteps. And so it's sort of blowing our presence in this direction. And usually what happens is Crying Wolf wants to stay downwind because, you know, she's a wolf. She's... Oh. Yeah, and there she is. Oh boy, this is going to be scary. So sometimes she can do this as well. And just ambush you? Oh god. So she's... Yep, she's charging her laser there. Charging her railgun. She doesn't normally come right at me. That's kind of terrifying. So yeah, wow, this is not how I thought this fight would go immediately. This is kind of different and cool. She can pounce on you. She can physically attack you. And there's a bit of, like, it's not quite a quick time event, but there's a sort of quick time event where she'll pounce on you and you get some time to fire at her. It's a really cool, really cinematic thing. I don't know if I'll trigger it, though, because it's so... Whoops, someone's near me. So rare, and it's so dangerous to fight her up close. She's also pretty hard to find because, as you saw, not a lot of her suit gives off heat, I guess? So things like that, those 3 lines there. Whoopsies, I pressed the wrong button. That looks kind of like how she ends up looking. You can take the high ground. Oh yeah, now we're in the Sniper Wolf 2 area. Again, I'll point out all the little differences and inconsistencies. Basically, they removed some of these temporary walls. So now we can actually access the forest area over here. The wooded area, I guess, is more accurate. You call it the woods when it's cold. I think. I don't think you call it Arctic forest. Claymore mines, that's neat. You can see, though, it's very much like, it's like a streamlined version of the fight with the end. Unfortunately, unlike our dear Papa, we don't get SIG gas spray, and my box has been destroyed, so I can't employ the exact same tactics. You know, I can pick up the snow pattern, though, and be a little, Oh, am I just giving off... Is it so cold here? Oh, no, okay. Pick up that to get a little more camo coverage. This fight's the one time I've ever said too many ladies. Yeah? There she is. Oh! Woo! What if I shoot at your armor? I don't think it does anything. Yeah, so you can see the grenades on her look very similar to the doors. Oh, she's sniffing for me. Hey? Oh. So yeah, they start to wake up. There we go. Whoa. It's a little close. Yeah, she also can destroy the trees. The Lorax hates her for this. The End probably hates her for this, too. Oh! Hello. Nope. There we go. You know, this is funny because I said she likes to stay downwind. But I'm actually staying downwind more. The hunter truly has become the hunted. But I guess we're both sort of the hunters. I don't know who's hunting who. It's definitely not Wabbit season. There is no, what emotion would a rabbit carry into battle? Well, I guess also joy. Oh! Oh, she somehow got over here. No wonder I couldn't find her. The hunter has become the hunted. Oh, and I've become a guy who got hit with a railgun and lived. Alright. She's almost done. But now she's gonna run at me. Oh no, she's just running away. Okay. Alright. No. See, this is what I mean. Like, I love the Haven Troopers and all, but they're so unnecessary to this fight. They don't really... On the higher difficulties, they're more of a problem. Like on hard and above. But they're kind of just... They're kind of... I guess the idea is they're meant to distract you if you're using the night vision. You know, you see like a human-shaped thing and you go to shoot at it. You're like, oh no! That wasn't the crying wolf. I also think they were a late addition to this fight. Because would it surprise you to hear that once the fight is done, they just simply vanish from the area? Which is a shame, because it would have been cool to have to sneak around here and deal with actual human opponents, but then it would have kind of broken the immersion of this is supposed to be completely desolate, and you only deal with unmanned sentries, to which their presence in this fight at all sort of breaks that immersion. Look, here's that tree she destroyed. Oh. I don't know. It's an odd decision. I'm never a fan of when they just add regular enemies to a to an area. Let me just re-sleep all of you ladies. Like, it usually, when that happens, when you fight a boss, that, oh, hi. Well, there we go, took care of her. When you fight a boss that has little add-on enemies like that, it's usually because something went wrong with the testing and they went, quick, add more, just add more. Look, she's got a little werewolf logo. Oh, she fell out. It's really funny how some sort of robo-wolf is a raw idea, and then they just put a yelling woman in it. Yeah, their designs are really cool, both in and out of the suits, but I feel like most things in this game, could have been done a little better. I feel like if they would have had more character to them, rather than just, you know, I am a wolf, and I am sad. And then Drebin, spoilers, is going to call us and be like, hey, Snake, did you know that she was a wolf, and she's sad because she had to do this horrible thing that War did to her? You know? Oh, you're looking hot, though, girl. The cries of babies. She hears the cries of babies. Like, if they had, like, actual goals and motivations, like, again, like the cast of MGS1, I think Foxhound is the best. Oh, I like this, though. This is cool. I like that. That she grabs the camera and, like, Snake even looks over like, what are you doing? Dog! Oh, ghost dog! That Snake also saw, I guess? Because he looked over. Drebin, if you tell me she was a child soldier again, I'm gonna lose it. Well... No, I believe she specifically was a war orphan. A warphin, if you will. Her story is probably the saddest, actually. But it's still... It just comes off as like... Okay, I get it. I get it. I get what you're doing with these ladies.
You can cry if you want to. Cry if you need to.
You would cry too if it happened to you. But I do like how they clearly... It's like they don't really want to fight, so Snake is like hyper awkward during these scenes.
I've cried myself dry.
I don't know. This game's weird. This game's weird, but I still really, really, really like it a lot.
As much as you like.
Looks great, too, though. My god, every cutscene, I'm like, oh yeah. Look at this cool transition back into the gameplay, yeah! Alright, you know how this goes. Oh yeah, look, he's in a special little CQC pose. Really awkward one. Ah, don't touch me, girl! Alright, so we gotta avoid her as much as possible. Check it out, though, look! Look where we are. We're near these doors. They don't have numbers on them anymore. Oh, she's coming after us. one of those was the level 7 door. Might have been that one? Might have been this one over here? I don't know. So here's the communication tower. Tower number 2. I believe that maybe that's the door we came out of in MGS1. No, here it is. Here's the level 6 door. We came out of here. Whoop! You can see they removed several of these, like, fence units at some point. Nope, just it's the hot lady chasing me through the woods. Happens every now and then. Again, usually the communication towers, we couldn't actually get to their ground floors, so it's neat to see that. Look, here's the... Here! This is where Sniper Wolf was. Like, I don't know, like a couple feet under the snow here. Whoop, up, 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 up. Trying to do a tour. Alright, maybe the tour will have to end. And, we'll do a better tour later. Maybe we'll just go over here. This is an interesting little addition. A little, like, it's like a little power station. Nothing like that in the original. But yeah, all of these trees, you could see out into this area in MGS1 and in Twin Snakes. You remember, we looked out, we saw the parachute, and we said, you know, Liquid would have been sliced up faster than an onion in an infomercial. We couldn't access these stairs, but... Oh, I'm just gonna scurry up there. These stairs before, but much like the inside of the communication towers has like a spiral stairway structure, the outside has a very similar thing. You can't access all the floors, but some of them do have ladders, and I think... Oh. Oops! How you gonna come up here? Can you come up the ladder, huh? Huh? No. Awkwardly, okay, well. Women, am I right? Yeah. Unfortunately, though... You good down there? Unfortunately, like most things in this game, time has not been kind to them. Well, time's been kind to the visuals of this game, but not to certain other things. So we can't get all the way up the towers, but we can go here to this little white void, and we can do it again. Hell yeah. Sunny? Nope, Sunny's busy. Alright. Unfortunately, I can't use the camera and the iPod at the same time. So we're just going to have to get our tasteful gravier photos without mood music. I know. Peace Walker would fix that. Hey. No. No. Oh, okay. She knows what I want to see. The texture, of course. It says, in emergency, open here for quick separation of suit systems. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Love it. Okay. So, flashbang warning. But, I believe I showed off the grenade launcher. At some point, I showed this off. That we got from Raging Raven. I mentioned this is the equivalent of the RGB-6 in MGS2, which was fictional. This one's a real-world grenade launcher. And if you don't remember the RGB-6 from MGS2, just think of Snake's Final Smash from Super Smash Bros. Brawl. This thing's cool, though, because you can fire stun grenades. Now, once again, flashbang warning. There we go. It's really strong. The flash grenades are super, super strong. But they will blind you. With science? I guess? It's a type of science. The flash grenades were kind of made as like a test, you know? For like live exercises. They're like, well, oh, look at him stumbling around. And anyway, they put a bunch of magnesium in there, and they're like, it just makes a big bright flash and an explosion without like fragmentation and stuff going everywhere. The people were like, oh my god, it's loud as shit and blinding. And they're like, oh, hey, that's pretty good. Yeah, pick it up! Shut up about flash grenades. We got a way cooler weapon here. So this is not Fortune's railgun. It is the same model. It is the same type of railgun, but it is not the same railgun. Look how cool he is, even though it's really heavy. That's fine. Listen, it's just really heavy. He's not old. It's a big-ass piece of metal.
Yo, Snake, I finished laundering that railgun you picked up just now.
How did you do that, Drebin?
It's on the house. Thanks. Time for another bedtime story, Snake.
We don't have to.
This one's about crying wolf.
We're going to. Oh, yeah, let me turn him up because he talks so
Nations
quiet.
in Africa tearing themselves apart in the name of ethnic cleansing. Well, she was
Africa
born
and
in
ethnic
that
cleansing, huh?
environment.
Wonder if that'll come up in a future game.
Her village was attacked by rival armed factions. Her parents and siblings were slaughtered, and she was left.
Look,
with a
yep,
refuge.
she's a orphan.
She
Yes,
took
her
last
family
surviving
was slain
relative
by blue plastic barrels because she's a orphan.
and ran as far
I
as
get
she
the
could
joke.
away
It's
from the war zone.
a Spaceballs
One
reference.
day, they came across an enemy unit.
Anyway.
So she took her brother and hid in an abandoned shack. And then her brother started to cry.
Oh no!
She knew that if the soldiers heard the noise, they would find them and kill them both. So she wrapped her hand as tight as she could around his mouth. As the footsteps gradually went away, she came back to her senses. Her brother wasn't crying anymore.
Oh.
Horrified, she pulled her hand away, covered in sweat and spit. He wasn't breathing. They say wolves eat their own pups when they die.
So that's, yeah, like
She
hers
was
is actually
spotted
kind of
wandering through the thick of battle, carrying her dead brother in her
pretty
arms.
sad. Like, I don't
She had
know.
Visions too.
I guess because it's, like,
Walking
reasonably
alongside her.
sad.
Every night the wolf would howl and cry, just like her
It's
brother
not
did
as,
her
like,
dead.
bizarre as some of the others. And let me tell you,
She made it to a government-run
Screaming
refugee
Mantis' story is the most
Then-
bizarre.
Her brother's body had rotted away. The camp was crowded with refugees like herself and little children like her brother. Day and night, she was
And even
haunted
this,
by the
it's
cries
like,
of
yeah, I
babies.
could see where I don't know. Her story, it works the most
Heard her
for me. It's
sorrowful
not
screams and
as
answered.
absurd.
He
It's
made his
just,
way around
like,
the camp,
realistically
one by one.
sad, and you could see how
He silenced the children.
something,
She
like,
tried to stop it, but she
until,
was
yeah,
powerless
until
to stop the wolf.
it gets to this where it's like,
A few days passed, and on the eve of
where
the
it's like,
enemy's
so what
raid,
happened?
There wasn't a child left.
She
The
was the
adults
wolf,
who
wasn't
survived
she?
Were torn up pretty bad.
Was she the
Of
wolf?
course,
Yeah,
never
look,
any
she was
wolf
the
in that
wolf.
camp. She was the one who killed
Yeah.
those babies.
So then she did
She
go
couldn't
like
bring
actual
herself to
crazy.
admit
It's like almost
She couldn't
there,
bear the
but
thought
then
of
it's like,
herself
so
going
anyway,
from
Snake,
one
she
baby
turned
to
into a
the
werewolf
next,
and ate
howling
everyone,
like a wolf,
metaphorically, but
snuffing out
also,
their little lives.
yeah.
And she never did. Even as crying
Like I
wolf,
get like, oh, she had
the lonely
PTSD
beast
from
gritted
hearing
stalked
children
in the
cry,
dark.
which I mean, who doesn't? But
Snake, fighting with you made Wolf finally
yeah,
accept what she
I don't know.
She was cleansed by you.
Was about to
With
make the
the
joke,
cries
why
she
hasn't a
heard of
Metal Gear
children on the
character been
battlefield
killed
of
by a
East
barrel?
West,
And then I remembered
because
Grunin, and that's close enough. Oh yeah,
you ought to be proud.
that's pretty
3
close.
down, 1 to go. All that's left is Mantis.
Mantis.
But you should know, Snake. She's been controlling. all
What?
She's the beast.
That's a pretty big plot reveal, Dreppen.
Don't let her
Excuse
get
me?
hooks in you.
Excuse
won't.
me?
See
You
later,
wanna elaborate on what? No, okay, bye. See you later. Yeah, we'll get back to that one. Man, that looks almost photoreal. That looks really nice. Oh my god. Look, remember the little pupper? Remember the little dog? Remember the little guy? The goofy little guy? In Twin Snakes? And in MGS1? It's implied that that's the little guy. That's the little guy that was running around. So this doesn't happen if you kill her? Again, the game makes it very vague, but I don't know, maybe I'm just a little too optimistic, or maybe the game's just too sad, so I'm just trying to cope. But I feel like the implication for a lot of these is that they just live, you know? That they, like, survive in some form. Like, I don't think the wolf's gonna, like, eat her. It's like a weird, magical, friendly little wolf with hearts flying up. Anyway, check it out, look! Hey, little guy. Look, they love us. I think if I forget what I'm supposed to do. But I know sometimes they'll sit there and just get little hearts. Like the ones in MGS1. They are kind of adorable, though. Like, actually, that is a cute dog. That is a cute dog. Alright. Alright, so anyway. Let's get this out. Let's get these out. And, I mean, come on. Come on! Hell yes, this is the coolest, best weapon in the whole game. Because, yeah, it's a railgun. It's a railgun. You can see it mentioned, Fortune there. It's the same type, but it's not the exact same weapon. It is so cool, and it is gigantic. Yep, most penetrative power. Extremely high damage. So that's the thing about it. Even though it is super strong and looks cool as shit, if I go in first person, you see, to get the maximum power out of it, I have to charge it all the way, which doesn't take that long, but it takes long enough that to really effectively use it, it's going to take a little while. Now, you can just fire it normally, and it's still pretty powerful, but it's not as powerful. It's just so cool. Look at him. Look at the dogs. Even the dogs think I'm cool. Hey, doggy. Alright. Let's go into night vision mode here, because it's going to be a little easier to see. Look at all the dogs. Oh, look. You can see the hearts. There we go. Speaking of which, I think we can call Otacon about them.
Hear that, Snake?
Yeah. The wolf dogs.
Her family. It must be tough for them in this environment with all the people gone.
Wolf dogs aren't like other dogs. They're closer to wolves in nature. Happier living in
Remember,
the
Snake
wild
was a
than
musher. He had a bunch of wolf
pets.
dogs.
Even more so now that they're guarding the grave of a loved one.
You sure about that?
Trust me. I used
Yeah.
to wolf dogs just like these. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, if you say so. The comm towers. This is where you
Okay.
fought Liquid's Hind D.
He's got some of this. I think there's a codec you can get where he's like, oh, they
You still
all,
managed to
you
shoot
know,
down his gunship.
10 years ago, these dogs
Until
must have
then,
been just
I'd
a little
heard that
pupper.
even with a
Man pads.
Going one-on-one against an attack chopper was an act of suicide. I thought only Hollywood action stars did that kind of thing, but you made it look easy.
I just told you it wasn't.
It was kind of easy. I just used my stereo
But you were all
television.
like, oh, I had to take out that helicopter. Real cool. Like it was nothing.
Look at the thumbs
Alright,
up in the
enough
wink.
chit-chat. Let's get going. We got a long way to go to Rex's hangar.
Oh, what a
Yeah,
dweeb.
you're right, Snake.
What an absolute dweeb. Alright. So as much as I would love to stay here with these adorable puppers, let's do a little tour of this area. Oh,
Snake! What was she fighting for? What am I fighting for? What are you fighting
the
for?
music coming in.
If we make it through this, I'll tell you.
Okay. I'll be
Love it. Okay, so in MGS1 and in Twin Snakes, when this wall was intact, I pressed myself up against it and I noticed there was a parachute in the tree. Parachute seems to have blown away by this point. But if we follow this path... here we go.
See you in hell. Liquid.
The dogs follow me too. Oh, they still have the hearts. Cute. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that you just find the wreckage of the Hind here. And of course, you pick up some Stinger missiles next to it. Now, I think... Man, these dogs really, really like me. It's kind of funny. The dog bumped me. He's got the zoomies. I think you do see a ghost here. I guess not. Okay. Like, I mean, I guess the pilot, you know, the secondary pilot, died, but Liquid obviously didn't. We're still dealing with him now. Yeah, it loops back around here. Now, I want to say... Sniper Wolf is probably chilling around here somewhere. It would have been, like, right here, yeah? Somewhere in this area. But, oh my god. Alright, alright. Here. You want all grouped together? Nope, come here. Pokemon Snap all of a sudden. Throwing the apple at the Charmanders. Here, can we get a family photo? Everyone? In frame? Yes? A little blurry. Hey. No, don't move. Dog. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I thought maybe she was there, but I guess not. There's a couple more interesting things here still, though. One is just this weird little blocked off area. I don't know what's with this. I don't know, like a heater or something? I genuinely don't know. I like some of those more realistic touches that they put here. You know, it's not just these giant communication towers and nothing else. There's like, again, the little power station here. Power Station 3. With the cell processor. And it makes for, like, decent cover in the fight if you really want to use it. We got C4. And we got Claymore. And we got this dog. You can attack the dogs if you're an absolute monster. Just by the way. Let me put this one because it makes the game run faster. And also because there's a pretty good weapon somewhere on one of these. I've already shown it off. It's the airburst grenade launcher. They can be fired with one hand. But they fetch a hefty price. So it would be good to pick one up, even though there's not really much more from Drebin I can buy on this file. Nothing wrong with you know, maxing out your points. Oh, here it is. XM25 grenade launcher. So I'll show it off very far away from those dogs. You can see it kind of looks like an XM8, a little fish kind of gun. So it's really neat for a couple reasons. One is that, I'll fire it off into the distance. You can fire grenades this fast, which is absurd. And then the other is, see that little number? I can make that go up and down with the D-pad, and what that means is I can choose where the grenades explode, so that says the distance, right? So that's like 100 is the max, that's out of bounds. But if I want to make it like explode closer, I can do that. You can see it doesn't go very far before it explodes. It's really neat. It's a neat little weapon that I honestly don't use often because there's not a whole lot to shoot at in this game, unfortunately. Except for this act. This is the only one. Bunch of little dwarf gecko. Would have been cool if we could fight those powered suits, but no. Alright. We'll go down here, and then there's just one more little area to show off. And, of course, Twin Snakes is canon! Nice. Hey, how are you? So, unfortunately, we can't get up to, like, the 6th floor and see the, And I think it's actually not here. If you remember... Yeah. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. So there's the bridge on the 6th, I believe, floor, where we rappelled down. Let me get a better vantage point. But we rappelled down that side, and we had to fight the super dudes, the, like, oddly powerful men that took multiple, Stinger and PSG-1 shots. You can see the bridge is broken, though. But yeah, I like that they did actually include that little detail. And you can see the wreckage up at the top where that bridge is destroyed and all of that. So it's pretty good at keeping the continuity. Again, more weird little structures that I don't quite know what are, but... Of course, we gotta go here to this trench. Because we get another flashback.
Snake, leave me and run. War, meaningless. Nothing comes out of war. Snake, please, save yourself. Go on living and don't give up on people.
We won't forget you, Meryl. We just saw you a little while ago. Oh, look, there's some ammo over here. But yeah, it's been covered in snow and ice over time. I don't think Otacon has anything to say about it, but let's call him just in case.
Snake, we're only
Yeah,
halfway
okay.
there. Let's get going.
Sometimes if you stand in a
North end of the snowfield,
particular
blast
place,
furnace. Head north.
he'll give you a little more info on it. It's funny, there's just as many codec calls in this game as there are in MGS3. It just doesn't really feel like it, because a lot of them are just giving you directions, and there's not a lot of interesting, funny ones. And weirdly, most of them are actually here in this act. But alright, you heard him. We'll proceed forward. Unfortunately, most of these do not open. And also, unfortunately, the truck is gone. So we can't get driven back to the warhead storage or the heliport. It is funny, though, that they have all three places. I really wish they would have put the truck here and just inexplicably you could get driven around. Maybe just to have like a really goofy version of it where Snake's like, Otacon, I went in the truck and I showed up here, and he's like, oh, Snake, you must be senile. I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the level 7 door originally, but let's just go forward. Right here, say goodbye to our canine companions. They love us, though, but they'll be okay. And check it out. This is the exact same layout as MGS1 and as Twin Snakes. Except, I guess there was regain there the whole time. We never picked up. The only thing is that gun camera's missing, but I'm pretty sure I destroyed it every single time. So, let's just go down here, and you know what happens here.
Hold it, Snake. Time to change the disc. I know, it's a pain. But you need to swap disc 1 for disc 2. You see the disc labeled 2?
No.
Huh? Oh, wait. We're on PlayStation 3. It's a Blu-ray disc. Dual layered, too. No need to swap.
Damn it, Otacon! Get a grip!
Yeah, what an age we live in, huh, Snake? Wonder what they'll think of next.